Pension is important, and often it forms significant assets that people rely on to live on later in life. The need to have a pension system that is transparent, accountable and responsive is the reason for the EFCC's engagement with stakeholders. We will bring you details in the course of the program. Hello and thank you for joining us on another episode of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Muhammad.
Hello out there. My name is Abdurrashid Bawa. I'm the Executive Chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The fight against corruption is our collective responsibility. I therefore urge you to please put in your best and help the EFCC achieve its mandate of ridding Nigeria of economic and financial crimes. Together, we can win the fight, and we will win the fight.
The Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Abdurrashid Bawa, has called for concerted action by all stakeholders in ensuring an efficient, effective and fraud-free pension system in Nigeria. The EFCC chairman stated this in his opening address at the commencement of a two-day national summit on pension fraud tagged Eradication of Pension Fraud in Nigeria, which took place at the Nigerian Air Force Conference Center, Kado, Abuja. Ojuchukutame Eche has the details.
Bawa said the EFCC, as the coordinating agency for the enforcement of all economic and financial crimes laws, is conversant with the rot in the pension sector, as the Commission has investigated and documented hundreds of billions of naira lost to fraud in the pension industry. He stated that beyond the money is the unquantifiable loss of dignity in the retirees, who have to grovel and beg and even die in some instances in order to access their contribution. This, he said, is the shame of a nation that those who contributed their most productive years to service in various capacities have to go through hell to live in retirement. The anti-corruption boss was worried about the quality of regulation, the fidelity of pension managers, and the inefficiency in the management of pension assets, with grave consequences for the national economy, not to talk of the perception of Nigeria as a country where anything criminal is possible.
The EFCC were investigated, documented hundreds of billions of naira lost to fraud in pension industry. However, beyond the money is also the unquantifiable loss of dignity in the retiree, who has to grovel and beg, and even die in some instances in order to assess his contributions. It is a shame of a nation that those who have contributed their most productive years to us in various capacities have to go through hell in retirement. At the EFCC, we find that a significant chunk of the cases we encounter while investigating public sector corruption is linked to the desperate efforts of the worker to escape the pitiable conditions he sees of today's retirees.
Also, the EFCC boss stressed that the far-reaching objective of the summit was to have a pension system that is transparent, accountable, and responsive to the needs of its most important, most vulnerable, and most vulnerable stakeholders, the pensioners. He therefore charged the participants to reach deep into their treasure troves of knowledge and come up with pragmatic programs and policy recommendations that would ultimately engender significant improvement in service delivery and eliminate the gaps currently being exploited by the negative actors in the pension system.
The sole objective driving this initiative, our sole dream, is for Nigeria to have a pension system that is transparent, accountable, and responsive to the needs of its most important, most vulnerable stakeholder, the pensioner.
Bawa gave assurance that the Commission would continue to vigorously enforce all the laws against fraud in Nigeria, assuring that the Commission was willing and able to do all that was necessary to ensure that a better life awaited pensioners. He further commended the President Muhammadu Buhari administration for its support to the fight against economic and financial crimes.
I wish it very sincerely. I'm thanking the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and my elder brother, Mr. Boss Mustafa, who is carrying the commitment of the government of Mr. President to this summit by personally giving the EFCC all the requisite support to drive this initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you one thing that is incontestable as far as Mr. President is concerned, and it is that when it comes to the fight against economic and financial crimes, there is no deficit of political will to take hard decisions.
The special guest of honor and secretary to the government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, who described pension fraud as heinous, insensitive and condemnable, commended the synergy among the stakeholders, which is said would permit analysis of the causes of pension fraud and bring out the measures to check them. He said the government was conscious of its responsibility in the pension sector and resolved to deal with criminal acts of pension fraud in all ramifications. Boss Mustafa disclosed that the Muhammadu Buhari administration had demonstrated a rare commitment to improving the plight of pensioners through various administrative and policy interventions. The secretary to the government of the Federation listed some of the initiatives of the administration targeted at making life more meaningful for pensioners, to include the release of 55 billion naira to settle outstanding pension arrears, placement of 3,542 pensioners of the Delta Steel Company on the payroll, placement of over 2,000 staff of the defunct Nigerian Telecommunication Limited (NITEL) on the payroll, approval of funds to pay the entitlement of dismissed Biafran police officers, and the settlement of claims of disengaged staff of defunct Nigeria Airways.
The topics to be covered at this workshop were carefully designed to provide a clear and lucid understanding of the pertinent legal and regulatory aspects of the subject matter that will enhance the knowledge and efficiency of the EFCC officers and other relevant stakeholders. I therefore urge the participants to brainstorm and provide veritable ways and means of stemming the incidences of fraud in the pension industry and our society in general.
Boss Mustafa commended the EFCC chairman Abdul Rashid Bawa for the vigor and vibrancy he had brought to the leadership of the agency.
Finally, I want to charge the EFCC chairman not to let this effort end here, but to serve as the beginning of the necessary legislative, administrative, and regulatory and enforcement actions that will strengthen the pension administration system, which we all Nigerians genuinely deserve.
Goodwill messages were presented by prominent stakeholders, including Chairman, Police Pension Board, Suleiman Abba, Executive Secretary, PACAC, Professor Sadiq Isarada, who stood in for the Chairman, Professor Itse Sagi, President, Nigeria Labour Congress, Comrade Ayuba Waba, and Executive Commissioner Inspectorate, PENCOM, Clement Akintola, who stood in for the Director General, PENCOM, Aisha Dahiru Umar. Others were the Executive Secretary, Military Pensions Board, and representative of the Abia State Governor, Professor ACB Agbazwere.
I would want to commend the federal government under the present regime of President Muhammadu Buhari, who have gone all the way to settle all outstanding contributory benefits that the federal government normally makes to enable contributors or take benefits.
To wish the EFCC well, to support them as usual, and to say that fighting corruption is a huge business, and so far so good as far as the activities of the EFCC is concerned.
I wish you a very successful deliberation. I want to support this initiative, and I want to assure you that NLC will always be in such initiative and support moves to be able to sanitize our system.
So, while the pension institutions explore their respective mandates, the continued collaboration with the EFCC will certainly serve as catalyst for reducing the menace of fraud in the pension industry to the barest minimum.
I wish to sincerely commend the EFCC for this foresight and the initiative towards organizing this workshop. From the little time I've assumed duty at the Military Pension Board and with my experience, I have seen that this sort of workshop is needed in order to establish synergy among key stakeholders in the administration of pensions in the country.
Abia State Governor Okezie Victor Ibazu is delighted and consequently commends the Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and his team for the wisdom of realizing that workshops such as this sensitization workshop on the eradication of pension fraud in Nigeria will go a long way in educating the people and ultimately serve as a preventive measure towards curbing corruption.
Presenting a paper entitled Case Study Analysis of Fraud in Pension Administration in Nigeria, the EFCC Experience, Director of Operations, EFCC, Abdulkarim Chukol, highlighted the gaps in the existing pension arrangements frequently exploited by criminal elements in both the public and private sectors. He noted that the country had lost several billions of naira in the process. Chukol, however, identified improved staff training, proper internal control, improved reporting system, and severe penalty as measures that could help to check the incidence of pension fraud. Ojo Chokutami Eche for The Eagle.
Well, employees of both the public and private sectors are involved in the contributory pension scheme with the hope of a better life after retirement. But that is not the case. It is our hope that all teething problems associated with pension scheme will become a thing of the past so that we not only retire in peace but look forward to being retirees. The Japanese government has pledged to support the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in the fight against economic and financial crimes. The Japanese ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary to Nigeria, Matsunaga Kazuyoshi, made the pledge during a courtesy visit to the executive chairman of the EFCC, Abdurrashid Bawa, at the EFCC headquarters, Abuja. Here are details of his visit.
The envoy, Matsunaga Kazuyoshi, who expressed delight at the professionalism of the EFCC, noted that the Commission's efforts in helping a Japanese victim of scam to recover and repatriate a sum of 370,000 yen to Japan early this year was the first case in Japan where the victim's money remitted overseas was returned. He asked for EFCC's continuous cooperation in helping Japanese victims of fraud, noting that many victims were reluctant to come forward because of the difficulties in tracking monies transferred to foreign countries. The envoy further disclosed that the Japanese government had conducted a training program on governance in some countries and promised to extend the gesture to the EFCC.
And also the Japanese government had invited members of local security agency in Nigeria to Japan for training. And so after the lift of the travel restriction, we would like to resume the training program and future further deepen our relationship.
Responding, the EFCC chairman Abdulrashid Bawa briefed the envoy on the mandate of the commission and its strategic direction under his watch, especially the use of technology, and disclosed Strategic Plan 2021 to 2025 launch by the EFCC. The EFCC boss described the commission as a hub of international cooperation in law enforcement in Nigeria, adding that the EFCC partners with everyone to see that economic crime is eradicated in and around the globe. He assured of the Commission's willingness to continue to investigate any reported case where Japanese citizens are victims of scams and to restitute the recovered funds accordingly.
The country is now engulfed to the fact that, look, we have to kill corruption, just as the president says. And if we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill this country. So there is that general awareness of the fact that, look, we have a problem here and that we have to deal with that problem. And EFCC is at the forefront of all of that because part of our powers is that we are the coordinating agency of all economic and financial crime laws in this country. And of course, we have investigated several cases in partnership with foreign countries, in the areas of 419 and in the areas of, public corruption. And we have recorded tremendous success in that regard.
Ojo Chokutami Eche, reporting for The Eagle.
The Australian government has pledged to support the EFCC in the fight against economic and financial crimes. The Australian High Commissioner to Nigeria, John Donnelly, made the pledge during a courtesy visit to the EFCC chairman, Abdurrashid Bawa, at the Commission's headquarters in Jabi, Abuja. Amina Kawa tells us more.
Australian High Commissioner John Donnelly said that he was impressed with the Commission's annual report and the achievements of Bawa in his 100 days in office, adding that he has seen how prepared the Commission was in tackling corruption. He said he was at the Commission to explore options and discuss issues concerning mutual interest and also show support to the anti-corruption fight. He observed that Nigeria and Australia have similar experience in the area of tax fraud investigation and promised to link the EFCC with the Home Affairs Office based in Pretoria, South Africa, for necessary assistance and collaboration.
Now, the Department of Home Affairs in Australia has an international footprint, and they have, as part of their agency, also the Australian Federal Police, who have investigative tasks which is very similar to the EFCC's. They also have a range of other agencies that may in fact be able to provide assistance and support. And my colleagues based in Pretoria, like I say, have indicated their willingness to explore options for providing the EFCC with assistance.
Responding, the EFCC chairman, Abdurrashid Bawa, thanked the High Commissioner for the visit, stating that Australia is among the few countries that have a history of mutual cooperation with the Commission. He regretted that these MOUs were not adequately implemented in line with the vision of his predecessors.
Your Excellency, I want to assure you that our arms are open for you to assist us in whatever way to ensure that what we set out to do and the expectations of Nigerians are not in vain in terms of the responsibility assigned to us.
The EFCC boss disclosed that the Commission has launched its strategic plan that will run through 2025. Bawa stressed that the EFCC intends to achieve the vision of a corrupt-free Nigeria through the 5 objectives of the plan, including prevention, intelligence-driven investigation, and development of human capacity, because without being well-equipped, the Commission cannot achieve all that.
Let me also let you know that we appreciate the assistance that the Home Office is willing to give the EFCC in whatever guise, in whatever way that will help us to achieve our mandate. I also wish to let you know that Australia as a nation is among the few countries where we have a very good working relationship that dates back formally to 2011 or thereabout. We are aware that the EFCC has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Australian Federal Police. And we have also, and that was in 2012. And in 2013, we also signed another MOU with the Western Australian Federal Police as well, particularly the fraud section, to be precise. But I want to report here, I have to admit, that both agencies and the EFCC we have not lived up to the content of that documents that we have signed. I'm seeking this opportunity that you are here with us to let you know that we need to work on that to see that sequel to what we have understood that we need to do, that we work together towards seeing that we have actualized the dream of our predecessors in that regard.
He further informed the envoy of the recent launch of the Eagle Eye app for reporting economic crime, revealing that the application has so far recorded 13 million downloads globally. Donnelly expressed surprise at the reception of the EFCC app has recorded, noting that it has taken over Nigerian music as most downloaded in Apple and Google Play Store. Amina Kawa reporting for the Eagle.
Sensitization is a very vital tool in the eradication of economic and financial crimes. EFCC utilizes every sensitization platform available to relay anti-corruption messages to the Nigerian populace. In this next report, the EFCC presence was felt at the MC Tagwaye Throne of Laughter program. Amina Kawa again tells us more.
The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Abdul Rashid Bawa, has expressed concerns over the alarming rate of the involvement of Nigerian youth in cybercrime, while urging the public to support the EFCC in combating the surge. Bawa made this appeal while giving a speech at the MC Tawaye's Throne of Laughter comedy show, which took place at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. The EFCC boss, who was represented by Head of Operations, EFCC Headquarters Abuja, Michael Watkas, reiterated that some of the youths are deviating from investing their skills and talents in the things that will benefit the country, but rather indulging in internet fraud and giving bad image to the country. He stressed the importance of the youths in nation building, being the leaders of tomorrow and the fixers of the society.
The youth of this country are so much into this beyond your imagination. The statistics are disturbing, the statistics are worrisome. If you look at what is happening tonight, there are a lot of people with very fantastic talents. The country is gifted. You will agree with me on this. But some people are directing these talents to the wrong place. And we need to tell ourselves, we need to watch, keep an eye on our children, we need to keep an eye on our younger ones, we need to keep an eye on our relations. Otherwise, there will be no future for this country. This is a lot of work that people are putting here to earn their living. But some people are going for the shortcut. The message is we must fight this together. The message is we must put our heads together and stop this. Because we cannot allow this kind of youth to define the Nigerian youth. They should not be the basis for the definition of who the Nigerian youth is. We are much more than that. We cannot sit back and watch Nigeria grow to the level where emails, business discussions from Nigeria will not be respected. And it is not it's not a fight for the commission alone, it's a fight for all of us. So the chairman has asked that we seize this opportunity in a gathering like this, where it's overwhelmingly youths, talented youths, to encourage you and then to advise the ones that are doing this to desist from this, because we are out there to get you.
Bawa pleaded with Nigerians to support the EFCC, as the fight against economic crimes cannot be won by the Commission alone, but with the support of all Nigerians. This issue of economic crimes will be a thing of the past. Amina Kawa, reporting for the Eagle.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, cordially invites the general public to participate in the second edition of the EFCC Challenge, which kicked off on October 1, 2021, as part of the activities to commemorate Independence Anniversary. To participate, write and send an essay of not more than 1,000 words on the topic, How to Fight Economic and Financial Crimes to Make Nigeria Great. Entries shall close on Monday, November 15, 2021. Send your entries to info@efccnigeria.org or info@efcc.gov.ng. December 9, 2021 has been scheduled for the grand finale and award of prizes to winners of the challenge as part of the activities to commemorate the International Anti-Corruption Day 2021. Endeavor to participate. Don't be left out.
And that's how we end today's episode of The Eagle. Do not forget, for matters relating to economic and financial crimes, please send an email to info@efcc.gov.ng. And to speak to our officers, you can call 0809 3322 644 and follow us on all our social media platforms at Official EFCC. If you see fraud happening, use the EFCC mobile app, The Eagle Eye. Download the app, follow the steps, and report fraud on the go. You can also take pictures of corrupt practices and upload them. My name is Aisha Muhammad, but before I go, I leave you with this parting words that says, Retirement is a time to experience a fulfilling life derived from many enjoyable, rewarding activities. It is our hope that the issue of pension fraud in Nigeria will be a thing of the past so that retirees will enjoy their benefits and have a fulfilled life. Goodbye. God bless Nigeria. Please stay safe and be kind to one another.